Half-Life 2 has become such a huge game in the gaming industry as a whole. Everybody who is a gamer knows about it and has most likely played it. But does it deserve all of the 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, Metacritic, uh, IGN, I don't know if IGN, but whatever. All of just the 10 out of 10s and everything. That's what we are going to find out in a few minutes. Let's start off with the thing that it is mostly praised for, which is the story. Is the story great? Yes, it is. It's a very great story. You when you're playing through, you want to know what's going to happen. You're not just like, who cares? I don't care about any of these characters. The characters are likable. Alex and her father, and all of the other characters you meet along the adventure you go on are great. And the universe itself is also very good. It's all the cities you go to, like that one freaking haunted city or whatever, the one that everybody thinks is scary for some reason. I don't know what that's about, but that one, like, you want to know, like, things have happened in this world that are very interesting, and you are happy to find out all of the secrets about the world and the universe of Half-Life and what's happened, especially later in the game, which I'm not going to ruin for you. There's only two things about the story in Half-Life 2 that I find to be not good. One of which is the fact that it is very predictable, if you ask me. Some people may not say that, but I mean, you can kind of tell what's going to happen. I'm not going to give an example here because I don't want to ruin any of the story, but it isn't exactly the most, surprising, which it doesn't need to be great, but, it's not very good when the person who's playing your game can already kind of tell what's going to happen at the end. It's not really that great. And the second thing that's wrong with it is that it seems like there's a lot of parts, especially the vehicle parts that I've noticed, that they're filler sections. I'm not sure if that's a game term. I don't think that's a gaming term. That's more like used in music. When there's filler music in albums and stuff, that just means that there's songs that it's just there to take up space to make it so that your album doesn't have 5 songs in it. It's, but yeah, there's a lot of the game could have been shorter. I wouldn't have had a problem with it. Games don't need to be over 10 hours. Like it took me around 12 hours to complete it. Maybe a little bit less, I think, but overall, I think that like it seems like okay, so when you get that part with the raft thing, like the airboat thing, it seemed to go on for a really long time, and I can see why. I guess it kind of works in the story, but because the story is non-stop. Like there is no cut to later. It's literally just continuous. Like there's loading, but it's a continuous thing. Like you don't miss anything. You don't travel to different places. Every place you travel, you get there. And that's another small problem I have with this, which is that it seems like the whole game is spent just trying to get places. Like when you get to the place you're trying to get, you you have to get to another place. It seems like the whole game is just trying to get to the places. You never stop to do anything. It's literally just always trying to get places, and it's kind of annoying. Yeah. So the vehicle sections, like the buggy, or yeah, the buggy and the raft aren't. And now for the other main part of a video game, the gameplay. It's actually more main than the story, but whatever. Um, Everybody says that the Half-Life 2 gameplay is great. And when they say it has a great story, they're right. I don't think Half-Life 2 has great gameplay. I mean, the gameplay, the plus for the gameplay is that it's innovative. Like, it's different from normal first-person shooters. There's puzzles. There's the gravity gun where, you can pick up a freaking can of paint, throw it at the enemy, which is kind of funny. But I mean, and then like it's innovative. So there's like this one part where you're in like a prison thing, and there's turrets, and those parts are fun because you need to find a way to get past the turrets without completely getting freaking annihilated by a machine gun that they have. And yeah, it's that those parts are fun. There are some problems I have with the gameplay. The filler sections that I already talked about are also part of the gameplay problem. Like, it seems like those parts the gameplay is getting pretty bland because it's kind of just like, oh, you have to like disable a freaking energy fence or something. It seems like it's just like a ton of work for freaking like 4 hours. That seems like it's just there to take up some time. Um, the gunships are a minus. They seem like okay. So the biggest part about why I dislike the gunships isn't really the gunships themselves. It's the rocket launcher. It seems like the rocket launcher has like this lock-on ability that doesn't work. Like, you would shoot, and then the lock-on would make it like mess, and then the rocket would just be flying around the air for like 30 seconds. And you can't shoot another rocket if a rocket's already in the air. So that just leaves you open to fire from the gunship. This was especially available when you were trying to, like, you were outside in this courtyard, and it seemed like, you know, it took me like an hour and a half to get through that part. Like, of just running around getting rockets because it took me so long to get those stupid gunships to go down. I don't know what the problem was. The other problem I have is that there's some glitches, like game-breaking glitches. I had a couple of those where I would be playing, and then something that's supposed to like happen wouldn't happen, and then you're stuck, and then you have to restart the game. So it's like you're walking around and you're just like having a fun time. You're in the game. You're very immersed, and then the train that's supposed to be there isn't there, and then you just stand around for 30 minutes because you have absolutely no idea what you're supposed to be doing. Those parts are definitely not. They're definitely not the best. Not good for the experience. You generally don't want that to happen. But overall, the gameplay is good. It's not great. It's just good. I'd say the gameplay isn't anything too special, considering that, as I talked about, the puzzles, there there is still a lot of oh, you gotta shoot these people, and then yeah, pretty much the filler sections is hurting the gameplay quite a bit. So yeah, that's one of the problems with it. Now for some other smaller things about Half-Life 2, the graphics. I don't actually like the word graphics, like visuals. Like, Borderlands 2 obviously wasn't going for anything too realistic, so it's not like I'd friggin' screw them over their visuals. Um, the visuals are great. They're especially great for when this game was released, and they still hold up pretty well now, too. Like, the Source Engine, there's rumors of them making another one, but, they could still make games on that thing and have them be, okay looking, at least. Um, yeah, that pretty much covers it. My final rating for this game is an 8 out of 10. And before you get all, you only gave it an above average, 8 out of 10 is not an above average. For me, 5 is average. I don't understand why 7's average. It doesn't make any sense. It's not in the middle. I don't know why it would be average, but so yeah, that's why I have to go 5. So 5 is average. 8, it's a great game. 8 out of 10 is a great rating. And yeah. So thanks for watching. I'm going to attempt to put up at least one review a week. That's not one video a week because I am going to be making other things like my rants and stuff. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Click the bottom to see my the rant that I just posted, and I will see you later.